Hello everyone and welcome to What's Up Wednesdays. So welcome back to another episode of What's Up Wednesdays, a weekly video series to talk entrepreneurial advice for startups, travel tips and hacks to travel better, and overall motivational advice to get you through your week. This week, I'm going to talk all about how to put yourself out there. My name is Hannah, and each week all the topics change from week to week, and as we diverse and move into different topics, we're going to be switching things up here and there and starting with new travel series. So this topic this week seemed like a perfect fit for transitions and trying to make the most of the rest of this year. So how do you put yourself out there without fear of failing or fear of being rejected, or God forbid you put yourself out there and you don't like the work that you did? That's a lot of, weight to try to take on, to try to manage. But I don't want you to, be fearful of what could happen and not put yourself out there, because every time you put yourself out there in a different way, it's a stepping stone moving to the next place, and you don't know who's going to be inspired by all those little stepping stones that you're setting out for yourself and all the movements that you're going to make from doing so. So kind of what I talked about in the intro, we're trying new things with different travel series, different styles of video content, and it can be intimidating, but I wanted to share a story this week about how I put myself out there in the past and where that has led to today. To kind of give you a little bit of backstory of a really big movement where I put myself out there, kind of started in 2017, 2018. I was going down this path of trying to pursue occupational therapy school, diving in and out of different healthcare jobs, and I liked the work that I was doing. In a lot of ways it was fulfilling, but I knew that I wanted something more. I knew that I wanted something in the travel industry, something that allowed me to be free and kind of travel and work online, but I didn't know exactly how to get it. So during this awkward transition period that I was in between different careers and kind of figuring out what I wanted to do, a friend my age that was in a mutual travel group approached me about this company. And at the time it seemed like this golden ticket, you essentially get into this company and you're immediately welcomed by this amazing group of people that are talking you up and giving you motivational advice. You get to tune into all these chat calls and kind of refresh your knowledge in the field. It would jumpstart my career, get me right on track to learn all the things I needed to grow my online business, right? So I would be able to jump in line with this group. I would be welcomed in immediately by all these amazing people who are online, making six figures, traveling the world, doing everything they wanted. Sounds like the golden ticket, right? Well, it wasn't. And I'm very thankful for what happened next. So after joining this company and putting thousands of dollars on my credit card, I told my dad and stepmom about it, and they're like, Hannah, this is a scam. You need to get out of this. Naturally, I was crushed because I had done so much research on this company. I had been a part of this chat group and, talked to all these people in this live chat about what they were doing and how they were building each other up. And it just seemed like such a motivating kind of company to be a part of. And I really wanted that to be true. I wanted to dive in and live this career that I had always wanted, but I was trying to take a shortcut. I wasn't putting myself out there and committing to myself and my own dreams, my own goals, my own aspirations. I wasn't using my gifts to the fullest potential. So luckily I did get my money back. And because of that mistake, or it could have been a huge loss, I ended up learning so much from that. And in turn was able to work with my dad to turn those ideas into my own full service travel agency. So the thousands of dollars that could have gone down the drain from this poor investment ended up being invested into my own company. And 3 years later, we're still running. We're still trying to get through the grind, still trying to improve our platforms. And I've learned so much since then. The amount of skills that I learned by doing it on my own, doing it the hard way, putting in the grind and hustle has greatly improved my skills in everything that I ever wanted to do online. What I think the biggest learning process of this whole thing, and what could have been a huge loss, was I needed to learn the hard way that I need to believe in myself and my own gifts. I need to put myself out there in a way that I always wanted to do, but not try to take the shortcut and do it with a company that didn't have the foundation and the trust built behind it. Had I invested all of that money and time into myself in that way, I wouldn't be where I am today. So the takeaway lesson was that I was so willing to just throw thousands of dollars away and commit to something that wasn't going to promise a future when I could have invested in myself all along. And when I did do that, I've been able to build on those stepping stones and learn so much more than I thought I would. So you never know what kind of decisions are going to lead to the next big thing, the next big idea. So failure to launch is a really big thing. I put myself out there in a way I thought was right and it wasn't. And so I was able to learn so much more. After this whole MLM sort of pitfall that I almost ran into, the stepping stones leading up after that have led to much better things. I was able to learn how to actually make a commitment to myself. I wasn't investing thousands of dollars on a credit card that got me nowhere. I invested that money into my own platforms and invested into learning programs to improve my photography. I used that to pay for a subscription for bloggers so I could learn how to create content properly and actually brand it and make it its own thing. So every little step along the way led to something bigger and better. So the moral of the story is, if you are remaining in a place of scarcity or remaining in a place where you're afraid of failure or afraid to put your ideas out there and be shot down, you never know 3 years later what that could turn into. So if you commit to yourself and invest your time and energy and resources into yourself and just take that plunge, in the end you're going to learn from it and grow. So I didn't expect to make millions of dollars on my business in the first 3 years, and I'm still working on being monetized fully to support myself. But I've committed long term to being my own business owner, and whatever it takes to get there is going to be worth it because I did it myself. One thing that I expected to learn out of the MLM that I almost got involved into is I expected to learn how to take control of my life and actually take action to make the things happen that I wanted to make happen. Well, I didn't do it the route that I thought. I did it a much different way, but I have learned how to take actionable steps and make things happen for myself and for my career. Some things I wish I had known before starting a business compared to now is just not to set ridiculous expectations for yourself. When I tried to go the route of the MLM and just kind of jump the gun and just rip off the Band-Aid and put all the money on the card and just, take a shortcut, I was expecting to have a 6-figure income within a few months. That's what they promise you to try to get you in there. But when I turned that down to start my own business, that expectation wasn't there. I knew that it was going to take hard work. I knew that I was going to have to commit to a long-term goal to see monetized success, and I was okay with that. I went into creating a business with the mindset that no matter what happens with this business, I'm going to learn something, I'm going to grow, and it's going to lead to something that's long-term, that is going to be fulfilling and going to be everything I ever wanted. I was committed to the idea that no matter what happened along the way, I was going to be doing it with my family and we were going to have a great time along the way. And that's exactly what's happened so far. In the last 3 years of being a licensed business, we have been able to collaborate in so many creative ways that I never thought possible. We've been able to go on amazing road trips and create our own day trips. We've taken so many measures to improve our content and expand what we're able to do online. And I have no idea how these opportunities and these actions that we're doing right now are going to unfold next year. So if you are currently in a place where you have this creative idea or a dream that you really want to go for, you have something that's been on the table for a while, now more than ever is the time to do it. To put yourself out there and to just try. It's okay to put yourself out there because whether you fail or you are successful, you're going to learn and grow in the middle. My advice to anyone who is ready to start a new venture, maybe an opportunity has come about that you're unsure about, dig down deep and decide, is this something that I'm willing to commit to long term? Can I go into this new opportunity and ask myself, am I willing to get nothing out of this except for a learning experience? And if the answer is yes, then that is a good indication that you should go for it. If you have a story similar to mine where you've been presented this golden opportunity and something doesn't just quite set right, then it's probably not right for you. I can't make decisions for you, but when you dig down deep and are willing to go into an experience and gain some kind of knowledge from it, then you know it's going to lead to something bigger and it's going to be a milestone to the next big thing. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope this story provided a little bit of insight as far as how I got started with this whole entrepreneurial journey and why I am just so more willing to put myself out there, because I did the most and put myself out there in a really big way. And while that path did not turn out, it led to the path where I am now. And so many things came along the way that I couldn't have even dreamed of happening. So it really was worth it. I'm so thankful that I listened to that intuition and to the guidance of people who I did trust, who were there and had my back all along, because it ended up being a much better decision in the end. As I mentioned in the intro, we are branching out and putting ourselves out there in a brand new way. We're using the rest of this year to create different kind of styles of content. So we are really looking for some feedback and just, what are you interested in? What do you want to see? What do you think is missing from YouTube and content creation in general? Because I've got tons of ideas up there. We're ready to make it happen, and it's going to be an exciting process. So thank you all so much for everyone who's tuned in and followed our journey and been a part of the support to build our channels and to grow our audience bigger. I know there's a lot of people out there that need to hear messages like this, and there's a lot of people out there just like you that have these ideas in your head and are just waiting to put them into action. So you know that you've got some guidance from us and some support from our company to follow your journey in any way that we can. So it's time to put yourself out there and make big things happen. We're here for you. We're here to root you on. And if we weren't, then we wouldn't be talking about it every week. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you next time. Bye for now. My name is Hannah, and this week I'm talking all about how to... I forgot already. I'll just do the intro again.